Vice President of Nigeria forgot to address and also to recognize the APC presidential aspirant at an event at Akeredolu's mother's burial, which took place today on the 13th of November, which it was in attendance of Governor Akeredolu, the Asiwaju, and also a lot of delegates from the party and also from the country. So when Osinbajo was trying to make his speech, he has to make an address and recognize dignities. He has mentioned a lot of names. He has recognized a lot of people at the event until when he was being notified and tapped that he has actually not recognized the APC president aspirant, which looks it looks awful. It looks a bit embarrassing to the APC presidential candidate. Aside from being an APC presidential candidate, he was former governor of Lagos State, and also he's one of the great man in the party, which even if he's not running for the party, he should actually be recognized at the event. He should actually be called on for recognition. So people were like, does this happen? Because there was a slight issue with him and Osinbajo, especially during the primary election, which the vice president decided not to step down for him at the primary election, or like when the other aspirants like Amosun and other guys have to step down for him during the primary election for the presidential ticket of the party. Although we've seen the vice president and the presidential aspirant together very well, and the vice president shows his support so much for him. So when he was being notified by one of the people in the congregation, probably people in the party, he has to say he made a lot of error. He made a big error, which is actually very, very sorry about. And he has to call to the attention that he's very sorry to not announcing the presence of the presidential aspirant of the APC. He has to just come and make this known to everybody that he's very sorry for not recognizing that he actually escaped his mind, even though they sat down beside themselves and he's even seeing him that he actually escaped his mind. So is it politics? Is he actually skipped by him, or he forgot to do it? So this is best known to them. So during the conversation, Osinbajo apologized for failing to acknowledge Tinubu at the funeral of Akeredolu's mother, the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who seated side by side with Asiwaju Tinubu at Akeredolu's mother's funeral, left out Tinubu's name in the protocol list. After his attention was drawn to that, the VP said it was a big error. So on Saturday, at the funeral service held at St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Owo, Osinbajo acknowledged the presence of the Fayemi, former governor of Ekiti, as well as Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Akeredolu, governors of Lagos and Ogun State, respectively. He recognized the presence of the notable politicians and personality present at the funeral, governors, also former governors, party chieftains, chief judge, lawmakers, ministers, senators, captains of industry, among others. Shortly into his speech, the former Lagos Attorney General was prompted by his aide, who dropped a piece of paper to remind his boss of the presence of Tinubu, who was actually in the front seat. So he said, "Before I go on, I've made a very big error. I have left out the presidential candidate of our great party, the APC, Asiwaju Tinubu." He said this. He said, "The Emilokan Asiwaju, I'm sorry." He was sitting right next to me, not just sitting next to me, but right in front of me. But I honored you and welcome you to this event. Although after he was being notified about this, he has to make this change. You have to make it know that he's very sorry for making this big error of not actually recognizing the presence of the APC presidential aspirant. Although there have been a lot of issues which people are talking about the presidential aspirant, not quite long, the Arise TV has to apologize for him for bringing out a fake news about him, which they make publicly, apologizing to him. They were making, they were pleading to him that he is sorry for not recognizing. Sorry for them. They were sorry. They were actually pleading for giving out a fake news about the presidential aspirant of the party. So, Tinubu, he said no issues about this, and there are a lot of issues about him when the NDLA said they'll be speaking with the United States regards the drugs issue list, which was led to him and stuff like that. So, I felt Osinbajo and Tinubu are actually good. They're actually in good terms. For Osinbajo not mentioning his name, I personally think from us, we think it's just a normal thing. Probably forgot to do this. Even after the primary elections, we've seen them in occasions very well. We've seen them together. We've seen them personally talking. So definitely Osinbajo is working for him. Even aside from being having issues, they are from the same Yoruba ethnics, and they'll be having to just work together, and they are from the same party. So actually I felt this is not political. I felt it's just a escape of mind. Probably he has listed names of people he'll be mentioning. Probably he never knew Tinubu would be coming to the event, so because you actually saw him reading this out from a piece of paper, from a book which was given to him. So actually probably he has gotten this written down by one of his aides, that these are the members that are coming to the event, and Tinubu is not coming. So probably when he was just reading it, he has forgotten to mention Tinubu's name, or actually probably he had it in mind before and he just forgot to say his name. So but actually he did the right thing. He apologized to the great Jagaban. He apologized to him, and when the camera was moved to the great Jagaban, he has to just make a good smile that okay, nothing is going on, all is well and all is great. So that's all we have for you. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new viewer. Thank you so much.